Welcome, everybody. Who we got? Anna, Kelly, Stevie, Emma, Karen, Libby, Tatiana. Hello, Alison, Rhoda, Roxy, and Read.ai meeting notes. Welcome, everybody. Right, this is our strategy session. So every quarter we kick off like this. The New Year one was done in September because if you've been part of the kind of accelerator program, you know get how we work. Tend to go September to September is a year, so we're already in the flow. And what that does is that enables you to kind of resist a lot of the new year, new me stuff, and actually enable you to keep momentum going through the new year and through Christmas and the new year. In theory, Christmas is always a bit of a dodgy one. So what we're going to do today is we're going to go through a strategy session. We're going to capture your goals for the next 3 months, next 12 weeks. It's a lot easier to plan in quarters. That's why the commercial world does it that way than a year. We want to have a goal for what we want to do for the year, which I think a lot of us have explored. But now we're going to look at, right, what's going to happen in the next 3 months. For those of you who haven't met my fellow coach, Stevie Potter, Stevie is our accountability coach. She's a dentist, triathlete, and generally holds herself to a standard, an athletic standard that for most mortals it's difficult to attain. Because this, what the way that my world works is it's all about accountability and it's all about action. Rather people bite off small chunks and actually do them rather than making big bold plans, lots of promises to themselves, and then never actually getting ahead. So I'll go through the process with you. We'll stop periodically for questions, insights. If you've got any questions as we go through, please use the chat function in Zoom. Just pop a question in there. It pops up. I'll go through as I read them. Let's have an epic, productive 1 hour. Are we ready?
Yes.
Yes. Right. Let's go. I should have some music, shouldn't I? Right, there we go. Right, can everybody see my slides?
Yep.
Yeah. Good. It just feels weird, but how many years have we been saying that? So we want to start your year right. Now, it's amazing actually where a well-placed comma can change that completely. To start your year right to start your year right. I love the English language. So, pop quiz. In the chat, what is the correct answer to these questions? Not setting clear goals is the key to success. True or false? False. Thank you. It's not a trick question. Get Stevie's face. It's like, what? Yeah, it's just false, right? You have to have it all worked out before you start. True or false? Yeah. Not investing in your knowledge is a good strategy. False. Standing in front of the kid with the afro is a good idea. Anna's gone true. No, it's definitely not true. I shall show you why it's not true. So a little bit of a fun one. On this Sunday had my karate kickoff in London. So all the black belts and brown belts of the club got there. And I decided that actually for once I was going to stand at the front for the photos. Normally I'm at the back. And I thought, no, it's about time I was actually in one of them. It turned out to be a really bad mistake because, look at the photo. I'm trying like, where am I? Oh, look, there I am. And then you realise that actually Josh, the guy with the afro, stood directly behind me.
So did you do this on purpose?
I think he might have done.
I think he did.
Before the photo was taken, he was giving clear instructions. Everyone was giving instructions. Move your head so you can see the camera. I have words. I will be having words with him. So yeah. Anyway, note for future: don't stand in front of the kid with the afro. Is it the best way to grow a business? False. Good. Right. So everybody's tuned in now. So the way we want to be focusing is if you don't set goals, if you wait until things are perfect, if you don't invest in your knowledge, if you don't check behind you before a photo is taken, and you wing it, things don't go quite so well. If you flip it, set goals, trust the process. Super important, actually, especially in the world of sales and marketing, because you're going to be doing things not knowing whether or not they're going to work or not, and you just have to trust the process. You have to invest in knowledge, make sure you check behind you, and always have a plan. Right? Everybody agree?
Yep.
So, for those of you who haven't met me before, who is this idiot and why should you give a shit? I've been in sales and marketing for 25 years, ever since pretty much I left the Navy, left uni, and then went straight into the world of sales and marketing. I sold digital printing, and then I was sort of headhunted, I suppose, by a company who was investing in this technology called hyaluronic acid fillers. Roll that forward 10 years. I had been working with Botox. I've been part of the team that launched Juvederm Ultra. We took that from being basically a startup product to the global leader in 18 months. I left Allergan in about 10, 15 years ago, 10 years ago, I think, no, 12 years ago, set my own consultancy business up. And since then, I've worked with every type of business from a small independent kind of pre-startup through to giving sales and marketing coaching to some of the largest pharma companies in the world. And one of the things that I do, and what's kind of relevant to this group and small businesses, is one of the things I kind of really enjoy doing is turning fear into belief. Because if we don't know what we're doing, and if we don't believe what we're doing, we can be doing exactly the same things and nothing happen. And then as soon as you kind of switch it into a little bit of belief, actually you get sales growth. This is my wife's business. So I took a little bit of time out, 2022, 23, focused on helping her drive her business and put in some very, very simple processes, some very simple plans. And all of a sudden, business grew. I think we've now quadrupled the size of our business, and we did that in about 15 months. And a lot of that's just come from very, very simple behaviors, simple actions. I've never professed to say that I'm a guru in anything. I just really enjoy sales and marketing. I enjoy the process, I enjoy the theory, and I enjoy the practice. But I also do make a lot of mistakes, and I'm not afraid of making mistakes. I don't think people should be. You need to fail. There's a great saying, and I think everyone should take it, internalize it, is fail fast and fail often. And the way you do that is you test things. You take small steps. And I've learned this the hard way by going all in on things I didn't fully understand, and it tends to bite you. So I have made pretty much every single mistake you can make, and I'm looking forward to making some more. Because I've bounced back from every one of them by doing what I'm about to teach you. And this is why I do this every single quarter and do it with you. I do it with, if I wasn't here doing this with you guys, I'd be doing this myself. Because it's a fundamental, and you need to use things to anchor you. And these sort of strategy sessions are perfect every 3 months, just to catch you where you are, have a look at the future, and then really identify what are the things that are going to happen in the next 12 weeks that could stop you from achieving it. It's as simple as that. Oh, heating's on. So, a couple of things before I get going, a couple of top tips. And feel free to write these down. If you want the slide, I will send the slide deck out to everybody. I'll stick it on Matrix with a recording of this. But just a few kind of principles that I subscribe to and teach and abide by is, first one, your environment dictates your performance. Audit your circle, work out who you're talking to, who you're taking advice from, who you're buying from, who you're selling to, what technology you're using. You need to create the environment that works for your own performance level. Because if you're not in the right environment, things aren't going to work. Stevie often talks about having training environments. I talk about business environments. You also need to create sales environments. So when you're actually talking to your customers, if the environment that you've created isn't actually geared around sales, actually making money, guess what will happen? You won't make money. And the way that kind of manifests itself is by not actually having parts in your process that enable you to actually ask to get paid, like cash or card, creating those sorts of environments, having brochures, having websites, all those sorts of things. The marketing environment is very, very important. Prolific beats perfect. Don't wait until it will never, ever be perfect. And especially when you're talking about sales and marketing, it will never be perfect because things move too quickly for it to be that way. You've got to constantly test. You've got to constantly check. You create a post, put it out there. I mean, how many of you guys have sat on your hands on something because you just didn't think it was right?
Yep, me.
Right. What would have happened if you just put it out there?
I'd be far more ahead of where I am now.
You'd know that it worked or not for a start off.
Yeah.
Because by not firing it out, you're kind of allowing your own internal dialogue to talk you out of doing things. And I've sent some howlers of an email. And funnily enough, some of the worst emails I've sent have got the most engagement because everyone loves telling me I'm wrong.
Cool.
So don't wait. As long as you've got it, I reckon 60% of the way there is good enough. If you wait until you're 90%, you've waited too long, the moment's passed. And if you're doing around 10%, you haven't got enough information. So be fast. Know who you serve. Always go back to the source. Be crystal clear on who your ideal client is. You can never do too much work on this. If you ever get stuck on anything, I can't work this out, can't work that out. Always just go, right, who is this for? Who's my client? Who am I messaging this to? Funny enough, Stevie did this with me a little while ago. I was struggling with something. And she said, I think you're doing this for you, not for your customers. Absolutely spot on. And as soon as that realization hit me again, it changed the way I approached it. Your messages change. So if you ever get stuck on it, I don't know what to say, just think about who your ideal client is, what problem they have, and how do you help them solve it. Selling is solving. Who's afraid of sales?
Me.
Answer. Who's afraid of sales? Okay. Who really likes solving problems? So the difference is the bit between solving the problem and selling is all you got to do is just change your mindset around what selling is. Selling is just literally telling someone how you solve their problem. That's all it is. Identifying what their problem is and then telling them how you solve it. I've been on some of the best sales training courses in the world. I've done negotiation skills training. And the first thing that you learn is you position against a problem. So you ask lots of questions. You find out what problem, what's the problem here? What is your challenge? And then they tell you, and then you position against that. That's sales 101. So if you fully understand the problem that you're solving, selling becomes easy. And the last one, this is the one that everybody hates to hear, but it is the truth. It's all on you. I am a massive fan of an action-based strategy. This is 90% of people who commonly, come on a webinar, go to a course, sign up for something, don't implement anything. It's about 10% actually do. And because, learning's fun, doing is hard. It's easy to have a whole wall full of certificates behind your head than it is to actually implement what you've learned from one of those programs. So I will really encourage you through this is take some notes, but then at the end of it, just pick 2 or 3 things that you're going to do. What's the action that you're going to take? And then use the Launchpad Facebook group to talk about them. That's what that group's for. It's to help guide you and help, get you where you need to get to. And that's what's so great with the Accelerator program, the guys on there, is we're constantly working together to hold each other accountable. Not just the business stuff. I mean, there's a lot of talk this week has been about, health and fitness and our goals for the year, but making sure that we're held accountable to ourselves and by others as well. And that's what goes back to environment dictates performance. So, and although this is the last one, this is definitely the last one. Do epic shit. I think business can be fun if you get out your own way and you do things that are challenging to you. You challenge yourself, you challenge the status quo, you challenge accepted wisdom. You tell people that you think that they're wrong. but also give them the solutions as to what they are doing wrong. You know, I don't think that's right. This is what you could do. It's a great opportunity to kind of do something different, be different. So many people just turn up for work every single day, hating their jobs, when you've got an opportunity to actually do something really, really epic. So I encourage you, go and do that epic thing, whatever it is. But it all begins with one thing. What do you think it begins with?
Pull your finger out your ass.
Spot the Kiwi, pulling your finger out. Yeah. What before that?
Knowing what you want to do.
Yes. And what do we call that?
Goal setting, maybe?
Yeah, a goal.
Woo!
A goal.
Oh, I'm awake.
Yeah, you see, it's like Anna's like full of it because it's early in the morning for you.
Yep.
Yeah. So goal, absolutely. Goal setting. First thing we start off with goals. And my definition of goal setting that I have created over many, many years is this: a committed decision to achieve a burning desire, followed by immediate, massive action, repeated consistently for as long as it takes. Very, very powerful. It's much better than SMART, which is dull. A committed decision. You know, you are going to do this. A burning desire. You must really want it, right? Immediate, massive action. You're going to do loads of shit, really push hard on it. But then the hard bit is repeated consistently for as long as it takes. That's the bit where everybody drops off, because consistency for most is hard. And when motivation wanes, discipline takes over. And that's where the challenges come. So take a moment and just write down, you can share it in the chat if you want to, it'd be great, is if you could achieve one extraordinary thing by April 2025, what would it be? And I'm going to join in. The big extraordinary thing. So I'm going 15% body fat and past my black belt grading. I'll be ripped. I'll be like ripped like Rambo, First Blood Part 2, Sylvester Stallone. That's how ripped I will be. Stevie is to finish, top 50% finish in ROC Snowdon. Whenever I see 50%, I always kind of think that's just like flipping a coin. That's really hedging your bets.
Yeah, but it's a really hard race, and I've had 2 very hard years, and also it's not my forte. So I'm going as the fastest potato this year there.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So top 50, yeah. So yours is a sport-related one. Mine is a massive challenge around my discipline. 15% body fat. To do that is basically, I'm going to have to be the most disciplined with my body and nutrition than I have been probably ever. Big goal. Why not? I did actually originally have that as my end of year goal, but I thought, no, fuck it, I'm going to crack at it for April. Kelly, complete next level up in dressage. Awesome. So these are extraordinary things. Keep going. We've got, how many people? We've got 14 people, including me, so it's 13. No, 14 people. So we've got another 11 who are not participating. Is it because, I mean, and also just think about why it is that you're not sharing. Is it because, and it's okay, by the way, it's okay if you're not. I invite you to do this. Is it because you don't have an extraordinary thing? That's okay. Tell me. Is it because you do have an extraordinary thing or you don't want to share it? That's okay too, but just let me know. Sneaking in there that I'm going to attempt not to get dropped in my first national road race. Dropped, is that in like fighting?
No, as in like normally when you go into the first, like the next category up of racing, what happens is you can't hold the wheel in front of you, or you get too excited and you go out and you're like, yeah, I'm winning. And then everyone else comes past you. If you get dropped in a bike race, you basically just drop out because if you get laps, they kick you out.
Right. Okay. So you don't make the cut, basically.
Yeah, exactly. So like make the cut, finish, just like finish the race. That's a big deal in those road races.
That sounds good. That sounds good. Gemma, to get 15 new clients like that. Rhoda, 25% of my income to be passive. Okay, very cool. Cool. All right. So to get my first 10 clients, love it. to finish writing and getting my course accredited. Awesome. These are extraordinary things. These are amazing things. Help my friend get through breast cancer. Wow, that's an incredible thing. 20 new clients. These are, yeah. So you see, everybody's got their own individual goals. And this is one of the things I probably should, another tip, comparison is the thief of joy. It's your race, as Stevie would say. You're going to run it the way you do it. Each one of your goals is specific to you. Did personal extraordinary this year. This year needs consistent in work. Launch skin membership, plan 10-year celebration. I think that's probably quite extraordinary. 10 years in business, a 10-year celebration, that is an extraordinary thing when you consider I can't remember what the statistics are on business failures after like 1, 3, 5, 10 years. It's very high. So you're probably like in the 0.05% of businesses to survive in 10 years. And that should be an extraordinary celebration. Cool. Right. So move on. So again, throwing our mind through to April, where do you want to be? And you can be specific, you can be broad. It's like, what do you want to be known for? These are big, broad brush questions, but you can put your own in there as well. This is, what do you want to be known for? How do you want to feel? What are you winning at? What would you like your income to be? Again, I'll share in this as well. What do I want to be known for is basically kind of want to be known as being back to my best, back in the game. It's been a challenging couple of years, and now I feel like things are coming back. I want to be known for being back. How do I want to feel? Feel that way? I want to feel fit, athletic, and strong, which is why going for the black belt is going to help me all to do that. What am I winning at? Life. And what my income to be? Well, we're all moving forward to get customers, to win, to feed our lifestyles. Because let's be honest, most of us on this call are running lifestyle businesses. So you can take these, do them now, do them yourself. But as long as you go through this exercise, this is important because we need to know where you are. What do you want to be known for? How do you want to feel? What are you winning at? What would you like your income to be? And be specific. Because that's us throwing it into the future. We're known for income, our profile, our successes, and we're happy. All good? And I'm speeding through this because we've got an hour. But we can come back if anybody's got any questions or anything like that. Like I said, is anything that you want me to slow down on, and anything that you want me to recap on, drop it in the chat. Because this is the pace that we go at for this. So let's look at where we are right now, the present. Where are you now? What are you known for? So what's if someone was in front of you, your friends was to introduce you to someone, what would they say? I suppose it depends how good a friend it is.
Yeah, most of my friends would just say she's gobby and bolshy and bossy and many of those words.
I was just thinking the same thing. I was thinking,
what about yourself?
Good friends with Stevie, I'd probably have said, no, this is Stevie. She's been a massive pain in the ass.
Yeah, but some people need that. Like it's a skill that when I was for the last 34 years, no one realized would be useful. And then you came along about 5 years ago and kind of was like, no, that's a useful skill. And I was like, oh, thanks. I told my mum all about it.
You can make money being a pain in the ass. And you were like, really? Yeah.
Yeah. This dude knows. He knows like literally any way to make money. Like literally. If you're like, how do you make money out of this? He knows. He knows how to sell it.
I do.
You just own it, Stevie. Own being a pain in the ass.
He's employing me to do it.
I am actually, yeah. You are employed
Cool.
to be, you are to be everyone's pain in the ass, including mine.
Stevie Potter, PIA.
Absolutely. So if you can make money for being a pain in the ass, you can make money from being not.
I love it.
So what makes you, what currently makes you the most money? What's working? So the reason that's important is, again, not everybody listening to this one or who starts working is actually doing the thing, running their own business and has broken out of it. So there'd be a point where you kind of have to transition portfolio careers. You don't necessarily have to go all in. You can split things. So what makes you the most money? What's working? What do you enjoy out of what you're currently doing? You know, if you're currently working doing a job, you can't all be shit. There must be certain elements of it that are great. And if you were to set your own business up, you would take some of those things with you. You know, so but also what elements are frustrating you. So we're going to work fast at this, but you can always come back to this and just think it through. Go for a walk. Okay, well, we touched on it a little bit yesterday, but I want to dig into it a little bit deeper now. You know, what am I known for? What makes me the most money? What's working? What do I love about what I'm doing right now? And what's shit about what I'm doing right now? Because once we've got those two elements, we've bookended. We know where we are. We know where we want to get to. What's in between?
Doing the work.
Yeah, the work. And it generally, the work is knocking down barriers. The work becomes doing the shit, but it actually, a lot of it is actually getting rid of a lot of things that either don't serve us, or we have to, you know, we've got an asset gap, we have to build it. So a barrier to sales, for example, might be, well, those people, how no one knows about me. How do I get those people in? Well, we've got to build some assets. We've got to build some marketing assets, you know, website, Facebook page, social media profile. We've got to build some things. But if you start thinking of it in terms of barriers, it's actually, I kind of like thinking about it that way because it's easy. They're just things I've got to knock down. And as, you know, a bull in a china shop, I like knocking stuff down. It's fun knocking things over. You know, human beings. I played rugby for 27 years, and knocking people over, it's a good fun. Karate, it's fun too. But when you get challenges like that, you just align them up and knock them down. So you've got to think about what challenges are, what we're going to be running into. And one thing to think about is that the pain of same is greater than the pain of change. And by the end of this, you'll know how to deal with these barriers, because you are going to run into some of them and they're just going to be hard. They're going to be really, really hard. And that's obviously when most people quit, right? People don't quit when it's easy. They quit when it's difficult. But you've got to hold on to the goal. Remember what I said about goal setting, a committed decision to achieve a burning desire. The burning desire is the thing that will keep you going. Because if you want this badly enough, there isn't a single barrier that's going to stop you. It will just take time. So what we need to ask ourselves is what's in the way? So if you were to sit right now, and this is probably easier to do than you think, because I imagine a lot of you sat and thought about this quite hard over time, you know, where you want to get to, where you are now. What's the barriers in the way? What are the frustrations? And again, it'd be great if you would mind someone share some of these challenges, because that's what we're here to do. We're here to help you overcome these challenges. You know, what are the problems you're facing? What's limiting you? What fears are you facing? You know, yeah, share some.
Basically, I work 9 to 5, Monday to Friday in the hospital. I'm a junior doctor.
Okay.
And during this time, we had a lot of doctors off sick because we have flu going around and everyone is sick. So I work consistently for 2 weeks with no break. They ask me to work extra hours. And when I come home, I am so tired mentally that it's very difficult to do content creation, work on my web page design, and all those things. And I tend to just rest my brain and try to eat something. So it's very difficult to work on your business after work, after your normal working hours and you know, NHS job. So honestly, I'm exhausted. Like I know it takes effort, and I know if you have a burning desire, and I know you have to do small thing every day, at least one step towards achieving your dream. But honestly, it's a struggle every day. It sounds like an excuse, but it's a real issue of low
No.
energy levels. It's
No, I don't think
no
it's
energy whatsoever.
yeah. No, I don't think it's not an excuse at all. It's we have the three resources that we have are time, energy, and money. And
Exactly.
if you've got all three, you don't need to be me. If you jump in, you don't need me. You jump off the call. But there are a couple of things, and I'll come on to those actually as we go through all of this. But one of the things that will help you, actually could really help you, are using AI tools for your content creation. It's as simple as because though all you've got to do is ask it the questions and it will create the content for you. But yeah, and it may just take you longer to get through it because you've got this energy deficit, so you're going to take longer to do certain things. But as long as you set, like you said, you're setting the small goals and just knocking them through step by step, you'll win eventually. No one said it was quick. But AI, do you use AI?
Chat GPT, and also I'm very new to Instagram, and all my life, I'm 48, I hated social media. Like, I try to avoid it. I only use it for like work purposes, and I hardly ever post something about myself. So now I'm trying to learn how to do these reels, how to do this post, and it's all new to me. Honestly, like I am lost. Okay, I signed up for Canva and I'm trying to use Canva, not professional version, but I'm learning all those things. I'm watching YouTube videos, how to create this, how to use Canva, how to do this. I'm learning as we go along. So that's why it's
Yeah,
taking
I get it.
no, yeah,
I'll pick this up at the end actually because
yeah.
what it sounds like you're doing is without going into problem solving, it sounds like you're focusing on tactics rather than having a strategy, a plan. So if you have a overarching plan on what you're going to do, the tactics that become easier. So yeah, let me whiz through this, and then I'll come back and sort of we'll pick up that some of the answers might actually get solved in what I'm going to talk about. But that's awesome. Thank you, Eric. Right, so a couple of things. It came up in the comments. Procrastination, doing the easy stuff, distractions. Yeah. Get rid of the distractions. I need to stop having this on my desk. Not doing video, fear. Yeah, fear of creating content. So that limits time. So much to do nothing. Imposter syndrome. IT illiterate. No one's IT illiterate. They're just tools. They're just tools. Don't overthink them. Scared of doing Facebook lives because I might come across like a total wacko. The thing with things like Facebook lives is everyone gets nervous about doing them. Hands up here if you've done a Facebook live and you've not felt nervous before you've done it. Everyone feels nervous before you do them, right? The trick is just break through it. I think look at things like Facebook lives as much a personal development tool as much as a business development tool, because it is getting through that fear. And when you break through it and you start getting comfortable sharing, things go in a slightly different way. And I remember I said to Kelly once that if I was to give you 300 quid every time you did a Facebook live, how many would you do? So I'll ask you the same thing. If I give you 300 quid every time you did a Facebook live, how many would you do? The answer is loads, right? Welcome to marketing. Even now, Facebook Live, Instagram Live, they launched in 2016. Even now, they are still the fastest way of growing an audience in social media. So do them. If you can get over that, you immediately stand out in the marketplace. I probably should have come off screen share for this one, but anyway, it doesn't matter. So yeah, okay. So you know what fears we've got. Most people have the same barriers, right? In fact, everyone has the same barriers. You have internal barriers, you have external barriers, you have real, and you have perceived. Now, have a think about everything that you've kind of thought of, what's stopping you. And I want you just to kind of think about which box do they go in? Are they internal? Are they external? Are they real or are they perceived? So let's have a look at some of them, right? So here is a real external challenge, right? So the external noise that was thrown around a lot is cost of living, right? So that's the external challenge. Can anybody do anything about the cost of living crisis? No. How does that manifest itself for you? Reality is your customers talk about having a lack of money, therefore it impacts your cash flow. So a solution to that particular barrier could be actually to raise your prices. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but if you're getting less money from more people, simplest thing is to put your prices up and narrow down your database to the people who actually do still want to work with you. If you've got a perceived external, I've got a bigger competitor. So someone just opens up just down the road. They're 3 times the size of you. Oh, God, I'm too small. I can't compete. They're going to steal all my customers. The response to it, the reaction is you change your messaging. You go where they are not. You're agile, you're personal, you're boutique, you're innovative. You change your messaging. So every kind of barrier you get does have a response. You can change your prices. You can understand this and you can actually change your messaging. You've got an internal issue. Oh, I haven't got enough cash. The reality of it is, why haven't you got enough cash? Because you're not making enough sales. Sales cure every single business problem imaginable. Is there a problem that money can't solve in business? Not life, business. No, philosophical here. In business, there isn't a problem that additional revenue can't really solve. So how do you get more money? Responses, marketing campaign, partnerships, getting out there, selling, creating, identifying new customer opportunities, targeting them. There is a response to it. And this is the big one. And this is the one that's pretty much noticeable through all of these. Imposter syndrome, getting in my own way, fear, I am my biggest barrier. Pretty much everyone who's commented has said that their problem is internal perception. I hate creating video. Create is because I'm afraid of what people think of me. And the response to that, and it has to be, fuck them. If people aren't paying your mortgage or giving you great advice, fuck them. There's only people I really listen to, my customers, you guys, and a few people who I ask advice from. The rest of them, they're just there. They just create noise. So you've got to find ways to get over this perception. And that's one of the barriers. You know, there are lots of different ways of doing it. You know, cognitive behavior therapy, just strategy planning, getting through it, you know. That's where most of the issues are. And those are the barriers, right? Either an internal barrier, it's an external barrier, it's a real barrier, it's a perceived barrier, or it's a strategy. I will open up for comments. Feel free to unmute or pop it in the chat.
Comments on everyone telling everyone else to get lost.
What's that?
I said, is that comments on how everyone feels about telling everyone else to get lost?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, just comments on this. You know, how do you when you look at it like this, your barriers, internal, external, real or perceived, how do you feel?
I think a lot of people don't want to admit what the real versus perceived barriers are. That's always I love this from Rhoda. I have no time because I waste time. You need to get rid of those electronic games, Rhoda.
Yeah. Perception, I have no time. Reality, I waste shitloads of it.
But that's the thing, you get the perception, but nobody wants to address that that the real problem might actually be you.
Yeah. Perception, I have no time, I have no money. Reality, I buy stupid shit for my van.
Yeah.
And in internal versus external, right? I mean, this is another thing. I think there's a lot of focus on external, you know, the macro environment, stuff that I can't control, you know, and I have to police myself. I imagine everyone's in the same sort of way. I found myself getting slightly irritated that Donald Trump wanted to buy Greenland. I'm not even from fucking Greenland. I'm like, why do I care?
Yeah, stop getting offended on behalf of Greenland.
On behalf
Nobody
of,
asked you.
There's the only people involved, the Trump, the Danish, and Greenlanders, and I'm not either of them. So yeah, so it's just policing your own thoughts, policing your energy levels, that time versus energy versus money. That's the algorithm. And more you're focusing on the external stuff rather than the internal stuff, and the more you're focusing on the perception versus the reality, you're just spinning your wheels. So when you look at these things, audit them, when you really dig into it, and be critical and be honest with yourself, because the barriers are the things that are stopping you from getting here. It's as simple as that. And every day you stay in working on these things. If you're working on the right things, you'll move forward. If you're working on the wrong things, you won't. So, final thing is you have to change the way you think about these things. Remember, the thinking that created the problem cannot design the solution. I do believe that was. I don't actually know who said that. Apparently, it's been attributed to Albert Einstein, but then on some fact-checking thing, it wasn't him. So, unless someone comes out and claims it, I'm going to have it. Blame
I'll go fact. I'll put that on the list to fact check for you, buddy.
Yeah, do it. Don't do it on Facebook because there aren't any fact checkers.
Nice.
That's Sitji, that's me too. Exactly right. The rate of change keeps me stuck. I always feel like I'm behind the 8 ball. Comparison is the thief of joy. You're not behind the 8 ball. You're just going at the pace that you are able to go at, and you will get faster as you go along. Right? There is who you comparing it to. There's no one. You're just doing what you do. Wake up in the morning. This is the plan. This is what I've got to do today. Do that. Again, because that's what you're doing with that, is you're taking yourself right back to the external barrier. You're taking yourself here when you need to be here and here. What can I do? Have I done it? Yes. Good job. Well done. Gold star. I'm not doing as much as everyone else is doing. Okay. Well, I'm not doing as much as Alex Hormozi on Instagram, but he spends 40 grand a week on social media. So yeah, I'm not doing as much as him, but I'm doing as much as I can do, and that's it. So, right. So you're thinking that created the problem cannot design the solution. So I'm going to show you how I can help you do all of this. So there are a couple of different programs we've got. We've got the accelerator, and we've got recent Launchpad coming out. I'm not going to talk about the accelerator today because that's closed currently, but I will talk to you about Launchpad. In order to, and the guys who work in the accelerator know this, right? The way to get from where you are and get through those barriers, the simplest way is you need a couple of things. You need a map, you need a guide, you need some tools, and you need a community. Remember, the environment dictates performance. So how I help is in these sorts of ways, right? So from coaching, helping you to kind of understand the barriers that you've had, and giving you, between myself and Stevie, strategies on how to break through them. Some of them are, a broad brush strategic issues, and I help you with them. And some of them are just talking shit to yourself, and that's what Stevie helps you to get rid of. Not in an aggressive way, but she does. Learning, we've got to learn new things, right? We've got to learn, we understand where we're at. We don't know enough. We've got to invest in our own learning. Consultancy side of things, you do need to raise your standards and raise your game. And one of the things that I say this quite openly about the medical aesthetics sort of beauty community is actually I actually think the standard of marketing is actually quite low, if I'm honest. If you look at across lots of different sectors, lots of different products that we buy, I actually find that the standard of marketing, the messaging is actually quite low. So it's actually easy to stand out if you play things in a slightly different way. And accountability, it's all about accountability. Everything that I do, everything that we do in Team GSD, everything we do in Launchpad, Accelerator, it's all about action. There's no point doing this and turning up if you're not going to do it. We help and guide you But at the end of the day, as I said, go back to the beginning, it's all on you. And what we impact are in 3 areas, right? Is your skills and your confidence. And by giving you better skills, different language to use, different tools to use, different ideas, different strategies, it builds your confidence. When your skills increase and your confidence increases, your income follows. And it goes that way. First your skills, then your confidence, then your income. It doesn't go the other way. I wish it did, if I'm honest. It'd be great. Money first would always be awesome, but it just never works that way. And who am I? You mostly know me anyway, but yeah, as one of my kids said to me, I love buying things that don't work properly, which I think is fairly accurate, to be fair. And I'm a
I love your kids more and more each day.
yeah. And they are correct. I do like buying things that don't work properly. But then I thrash them on Mario Kart. And actually, I'm just going to let Stevie introduce herself into this one. Off you go, Stevie.
So yeah, that's me. Triathlete, now born again track cyclist. So I am the performance mentor, I'm the accountability coach, and basically it's my job to help you gently untangle the kind of excuses versus the reasons, and yeah, just give you some really meaningful, easy to achieve goals and stuff like that. So I take all of my background and what I do in coaching from my sporting attributes. So I've been in sport for about 15 years now, competing, and from like international rowing right up to representing my country in triathlon. So throughout that time period, I've used a specific set of kind of rules for myself in terms of how I set goals, how I achieve them, and that's always worked for me. So I apply that to business and what I do in coaching. So that's me.
I should just put you in the spotlight, and that was waste time because
because it took you so long to get there. Because this is not about me. I'm trying to abbreviate, like abridge, give a compacted version of myself.
Well done. You did well. Right. Okay. So moving on. And the other guide we have is Clara, our AI assistant, course learning, coaching, learning, and resource assistant. And I'm going to show you how that works. We have in our learning management system matrix, we basically have built an AI assistant into it and program this AI with essentially all the coaching knowledge and the books and workshops and all the stuff that I have done to help you work through the challenges that you have without having to rely on a human. You can do this 24/7. Anna, really useful for you because you're in New Zealand and I'm asleep most of the time you're awake. So perfect for you guys. And also she has promised not to enslave mankind. Because I mean, and this is one of the funny is AI, right? There is a very, I'd be interested to know what's your feeling on AI. So in the chat, right? If you put let's put savior or Terminator, right? Do you think that AI is a savior, i.e., it can add value to mankind, or do you think it's going to enslave us all? Terminator. Anna straight in. Terminator. Okay.
I'm just scared of technology, just hands down, everything about it.
Savior in the right hands, Terminator in the wrong ones. So yeah. I'll just give you my tuppence on it, right? Is I think AI, that phrase, term, artificial intelligence, is a misnomer. It's not artificial intelligence at all because it's not actually intelligence, not at this level. The level that we're using it at and the level that most people are working with it is, think of it as really, really, really advanced predictive text or really, really advanced Corel Draw or Photoshop or Etch-a-Sketch or whatever you want to call it, right? Because all it does is what AI is fantastic, well, this level at, machine learning, if you want to call it that way, is good at actually spotting trends. So the things that we struggle with, like creating content or analyzing data, that's what AI is perfect for. So again, Tatiana was talking earlier about creating content. Well, if you imagine that you went through this process working with Launchpad, and I'll talk you through it in a minute, about you really understood who your ideal client was to a level that you haven't before. And the AI was then made aware of who your ideal client was. And you told it literally just to create content that resonated with that particular type of person. It created content. It builds the house. You've still got to decorate it. You've still got to do the bits and pieces, but it'd be able to create content far faster than you can. It takes the thinking out of it for you. So you're not having to sat with a blank sheet of paper going, shit, I've got to do a blog today. Write the blog and then you edit the blog. And that's a really, really effective way of using your time. And it speeds you up. Things like data analysis. I use it a lot for data analysis. So I'll take a spreadsheet, I'll stick it into Clara, into the AI. We're testing that on Clara at the moment. I do it in ChatGPT. Put a spreadsheet in there, and I get it to give me spot patterns, sales trends, analysis. That's pretty much where it all is at the moment. And let me just give you a quick walkthrough of it, so you can see exactly what I mean. I'll show you rather than tell you. So this is this is Matrix. This is the learning management system, and in here we have Clara AI. Now, when you jump on and you register on the system, we can go through what's called the Insight Engine, which enables you to program the AI with a little bit about yourself and about how your who you think how your ideal client is, your vision, your values, all those different aspects to bring up a bit of a picture. But if you're sitting there and go, right, okay, you've got your blank sheet of paper and you think, can you help me understand AI? Let's try that one. There we go. Do you have any specific questions? It enables you just to help with different aspects of things. What is the most effective way of growing my business? And these are just, I'm just banging questions in there. And it responds back. How can I assist you in furthering applying these concepts to situations? It enables you to start to dig deeper and deeper and deeper level of thinking. If you're looking at actually creating content, we've got the content generator. So if you wanted to create a video script, let's say, okay, create a blog post. Someone give me a topic to create a blog post on. Don't all shout at once.
How aging affects skin quality.
How aging affects skin quality. There we go. Boom. So you've got the framework for your blog. Remember, it does hallucinate. It can't take it as rote, but you can also do a video script on it if you want to do it on the same subject. So you want to do a Facebook Live, for example, you can do the video script. And I have programmed the AI on how I do a video, the same process. Programmed it on how you do social media posts. So it's specifically designed to help you with your marketing. That's how that's what how the AI in Clara works, and it's able to help you with coaching as well, because it is very, very. It has lots of empathy. I'm having a bad day. Isn't that sweet? Yes, Stevie was mean to me.
Clara's just going to say, well, welcome to every day. At least she said dealing with conflict can be challenging, not dealing
with Stevie. Yeah. Yeah. So there you go. So yeah. So basically, we've got this, this system, this platform that's there for you to use, abuse, and have fun with. There's calendars, videos, podcast, blogs. There's a shitload of courses on there. You've got a roadmap, so all the different aspects of like Launchpad, for example, are on there. So you can pick where you are. Are you stuck on it? Have you completed it? And as you work through it step by step, what you'll find is your skills are improving, your confidence will improve, and your revenue will grow. The guys in the Accelerator have been using this for over a year now. Yeah, as Rhoda says, love AI. gut biomes. Do you want me to find out what it says about gut biomes? Was that a correct content on gut biomes? Write a blog on gut biomes. Whew. In a world where wellness trends and scientific discoveries. So I know nothing about gut biomes, so you'll just have to let me know whether or not you think that's accurate or not, or useful. Or like that. Imagine your gut as a bustling metropolis, teeming with trillions of microorganisms, working in harmony to keep your body functioning at its best.
Brilliant.
That's good writing, that. I like that. Right, anyway. So there we go. So that's when you're talking about, how to deal with, tired, stress, I've got to do this, I've got to do that. Then, we have a tool there that can help you do it. Does it work? Yes, it does. Lots of people have said nice things about Launchpad. And last kind of thing is, it depends how I was thinking about is where people are on their journey, right? So everyone, very few people actually start working with me when they're in their comfort zone. Actually, what I often find is they're in fear. They're sat there because what you don't often realize is that you're in your comfort zone is actually just a bit of it's never safe and in control, because especially in business, if you're comfortable, I think you're waiting for something to happen, and rather than being proactive. So I tend to try and live myself in growth. I tend to try and be there. Every now and again, you knock back into your fear zone, but most of the time I'm here. Most people, when I try and meet them initially, most, not all, are in fear. So there's lack of confidence, they're finding excuses, and they're impacted by the opinions of others. This is where Launchpad does really well. When we get to things like the accelerator works well with people who are here. Like, you're dealing with things, you're acquiring new skills, you're extending it, and we're setting goals, finding purpose, because that's where, one-to-one coaching and group stuff works really well when you're in growth. When we're just starting out and moving forward, this is where Launchpad works well. So if you're interested in jumping into Launchpad, it's $47 a month. You can do it 500 a year. But for you wonderful people, I'll do a week trial for £1. I want you to test it out for me. I want you to make sure that it works. I want you to break it. Because when I said about making mistakes, that's part of this whole process. And what I'd love you to do is to break it. Because by then I get the feedback and then I can improve it. So you help me and I'll help you. If you're interested, you can either ping me a PM, you can message me on WhatsApp, you can leave a little message here. If you're watching on Facebook, you can ping a little message through on that. I was sending an email out to everybody anyway as well, just with this slide deck, and let you know when you can jump in. But ultimately, that's the bit that you need to do to be able to take action and move forward. Oh, look at that, Anna Keenaz. Perfect. So, and the simple guarantee is I will give you the best of me. If you don't think you're getting that, I'll give you your money back. You can have your quid back, but you must engage first. Always engage first. Okay. Oh, keen. Perfect. Look at that. Yes. Well, you're in. We'll just get it. We'll get it sorted. We'll get you in. And we'll get you moving forward. It's a really good program. I haven't run it for a few years, and part of the reason is it's quite exhaustive and time consuming. But now I found a way to run it totally digitally. Sweet. Would you like to add anything, Stevie? Anybody got any questions? Pop them in the chat. I know I flew through that quite quickly, but anybody out there, any observations? How do you feel about that? Do you feel more comfortable now knowing that your barriers have been stripped bare and you have nowhere to hide? Or do you feel a little bit more daunted? While you're writing your questions in the chat, Stevie, anything to add?
I mean, I'd like to add that Launchpad is where I first came into this little ecosystem, and actually, it totally changed my entire way of thinking. And like, that's where I ended up now. And I don't think a lot of people know, like, some of the newer people don't know that. I think they think that you maybe stumbled across me in a dark alleyway, but I actually came to you. I think the first thing I said was, I need a logo for my business,
That was
and
exactly what you said, like
that's
that.
exactly what I said. And I had a shit name and no logo, and you were like, okay, well, let's sort you out, not with a logo, but to actually give you a business. And yeah, and everything is just like changed from there, really. So if you are in the position like a lot of you where you don't need to start, or where you don't know where to start, or you're kind of there, but you don't know how to take the next step. There's just so much that you don't know already, and Launchpad is the place to start because you don't know what you don't know. And also, I don't think there's anything out there that gives you all of that value. Like we didn't have AI, and we didn't have AI when I started out. We didn't. True. And like now, for even for my business stuff, like I can have so many more clients because of the stuff that I've learned about what I can use from AI and digital and how Clara helps and all that sort of stuff. And it's kind of like if you don't know this stuff, your business isn't going to survive into the future. I actually think that's the fact is you need to know this stuff as well. You now cannot get away with not knowing this stuff.
Yeah. I think someone said to me a little while ago that they thought AI was a gimmick. And I managed to withhold my laughter because I remember I've been involved in tech since probably 1994, 93, 94, something like that. The emergence of email, the emergence of quick computer networks, the emergence of the internet, Friends Reunited. When the fuckers know that one, right? MySpace, remember that shit? Alta Vista, all these things that Stevie's like, music. What is this? Things.
Bebo. I remember Bebo.
Bebo. No, I think I was way past that. So, but I remember AI. Once we get past this term, AI, that eventually will fade out, right? It will change, and you'll become more comfortable with it. Because the interesting thing, right, is you are actually using AI now, but you don't know it. That's the difference. So most of the customer service bots that you speak to are AI. Amazon has the AI bot in its new, I think it's called Ruby or whatever it is called, in its little customer service thing. Most of the customer service mechanisms for all companies are now being run. First line response are actual AI responses, chatbots. So the more comfortable you get with this, the easier it is. And if you think about from a customer service point of view, all of you are time poor. Everyone here is time poor. So if we can get ways to save us time by not answering stupid questions from your clients or intelligent questions or learning what the question is, if someone asks the question 3 times or three different people ask the same question, wouldn't it be great if there was a tool that learned that and actually gave the response out? Without you having to do it. That's the sort of thing that the AI does. That's what it does. So I'm a massive fan of it. I think it's as transformative in tech and business as the internet. So go back to 1998 and tell me that email and web are a gimmick.
And then I think the other nice thing about Launchpad is I've met some of the best entrepreneurs I know in Launchpad as well. Like I've met some crazy people, not you, Rich, but I've met some crazy people. I've met some crazy people, and I've always said this is that in a lot of the professions, so like as a dentist is that's my newborn primary life. It's a very siloed profession, and aesthetics is even worse because like if you're running a clinic as an owner operator, it's just you. There's nobody else. And, a lot of organizations attempt to do all this kind of like networking stuff by being like, oh, let's be really proper and be all like, let's have all these rules. And it doesn't really work and everyone moans about them. So like actually have a community where people go in and be like, the real problem is that some of my clients are assholes. And actually the problem is not that I don't know how to do my job. I know how to do my job safely and all of that. And I don't want to bond with you over complications. And I'm kind of bored of you popping into my WhatsApp with all of your, what did I do wrong here? And actually it's nice to have a bunch of people that talk to each other about stuff other than what did I do wrong with this needle here?
Mm. And that's because I don't care what you did wrong with the needle. It's absolutely no relevance to my life whatsoever. In fact, it bores the shit out of me.
So, Richard, I have a question.
Shoot.
In Launchpad, as you go through these steps, I mean, everyone will go at different rate
Yeah.
and digest it and work through it. So how do we actually like support each other? Is it through messaging on a Launchpad
Through
platform?
the
Like
through the Facebook
if I
group.
have some questions, for example, I'm struggling at
Mhm. So
some step.
there's a couple of ways. Let me share my screen with you. So you can do it either whichever way makes you comfortable. So there's a Facebook group here somewhere up there, which you can use. Launchpad Accelerated Success Facebook group. You can put comments
Yeah.
in there,
Okay.
or not everybody. Again, not everybody wants to do social media. There's a chat function in the system. So if you can put questions in there. You can
Okay.
you can tag me if you want to. You can upload files into all of that. So if you just did at RC, there I am, and you can ask me questions.
Okay.
There you go. Right. So you can use that, or you can use the Facebook group. And as you go through it, and I guess what I didn't show you is actually how you work through it. So literally just go into courses, go into Launchpad, and there it is. And you start off here, click on that, and you can go through it, jump into the course, watch the content, and underneath the content, what you've got is you've actually got an AI feature in here as well that asks you questions based on what you've just learned. So you can engage with time, energy, money, whatever in here. And what you're doing is you're creating your own workbook. So you put as long as you engage with it here, and then if you go up into your workbook, it's recording everything. So all the information. So you're just building your own little history of how you perform throughout the whole thing. All good? Has that answered said question?
Thank you.
Yeah. Cool. So yeah, took me a year to build that out. I didn't do it myself. I just designed it. I got other people to build it. I'm not building that. That's too much maths involved. Cool. All right. So let me just go through some of the questions. So CV Matrix has all the knowledge. Clara's taken a lot of heart and soul. Yeah. It's and actually it's still improving. There's a lot of tweaks I want to make to that model. And anytime that you engage with it, it learns. So we keep it learning, and eventually it probably will take over the world and enslave us all. Gemma, I'm in a mentally and physically in a better place, and 2025 is my year to get cracking and launch my business. That's exactly what Launchpad is for. That perfect. That's where Stevie was way back when Rich says I sound like a Swede. Not us from Sweden. I don't remember saying that you sound like I don't know what a Swede sounds like.
Yeah, well, from where I'm from.
Oh, no, carrot.
Like a Swede basher.
Carrot cruncher.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
You sound like a posh Swede.
I'm going to take that because Anna said I sound posh. And actually, everyone except you, RCS, asked me if I went to the local posh school. Because I'm a great social climber, you see. I've got to a lot of the places that I have done by just pretending that I'm a lot higher up in the hierarchy than I am. It's got me to a lot of like horse-based people, which has worked really well for me. So
I did have someone who asked me if you went to Cheltenham Ladies College, and I just fucking laughed.
I definitely need you to tell me the name of that person because
Remember, I think
Cheltenham Ladies College.
I don't know. I try to remember. I'm trying to. I think it might have been. Who were you speaking to at my dad's funeral? I think it was.
I don't know. That was 2 years ago, and I did that thing where I floated around going, I don't know any of you.
Yeah, I think it was
that with the children and Chaz. I didn't think I spoke to anyone else.
Well, it worked, whatever it is. Everyone thinks you're posh. Cool. Right. There's no official attribution of the quote. There's a rough translation from Einstein, which, well, it's mine now. Thank you. Update my wiki. I don't actually have a wiki. Right. Okay. So we'll leave it there. I'll open the floor for the last question of the evening. Right then.
When can we start?
When can you start? Wednesday.
This Wednesday, like in 2 days? One
Yes,
day on
as in-
Tuesday.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Thursday morning for you.
Yeah, cool. Sweet.
Hang on. I was gonna. This is such a weird thing to do, but watch this. Right. Everybody, look how that sunlight. That's Tuesday.
Yeah, what's happening on Tuesday, Anna?
That's
Tuesday a good
Tuesday.
day?
Yeah.
It's Tuesday all day today.
Ah.
Should
Time
we hang
travel.
around for Tuesday? We should turn up for Tuesday. It's looking good.
Tuesday's great.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm not
Party
liking
at
the fact
mine. Come on,
you got
get over here. Party at mine.
That's definitely on the cards. I think a team trip to New Zealand.
Yay!
That's awesome.
I'm your host.
Okay. So listen, guys, appreciate. Thank you very much for joining. I'll be in touch with everybody's message about Launchpad. We'll get you up and running, get you on the path. Accelerator guys, we will we'll continue forward with purpose. Barriers, write down what they are, what the challenges are, and this is smack through them.
Let's get some goals and some barriers in the accelerator chat for accelerator guys, so that you actually have homework. Because otherwise, you'll go away and you won't do it. Just saying.
Just saying. Well,
Yeah.
actually, no, the accelerator. I love the fact the way you're using the WhatsApp group. Keep going. Daily photos, little accountability, brilliant. Keep it going. It's exactly the way forward. Yeah, I was in the gym at 6 o'clock this morning. Just point out.
So, if you want a
Thank you.
biscuit or like a medal, or what is it you would like for that?
All of the above. No
Right.
biscuits because my body is a temple.
Yeah, sure. I love you, black and white. You're boring me now, Mick.
You guys are bonkers. I
Right.
love it.
Okay, that's it. RCS out. Love you all. Speak to you soon.
Thank you.
Peace out. Thanks, guys.
Bye.